Alright, guys, welcome to this first part because it's a very um, heavy and thick, thick movie, if I can use the expression. It's a bold movie. And I wanted to not to do a multi-part review because I think that the more I look at it, and the reason for my initial um, int- um, and my initial investment in it of wanting to do a review. Yes, I want to analyze and review every Nolan film, but as you see, I don't go in order. I started with Insomnia on my channel, and but for Interstellar, it's such a different beast, and it's literally a beast at nearly 3 hours. So I thought I would try to deconstruct it and to see. I've just watched Tenet a few weeks ago, so I'm remember it clearly. Where in Interstellar I didn't. It's almost like I watched it for the first time because I've only saw this. I've only seen this movie one time in the theater when it came out 8 years ago. So I have almost. I remember the end, but beside that, I remember nothing about the movie, and I didn't. I remember going out of the theater thinking I didn't really like it, and it started to frustrate me because Nolan. I mean, with Batman Begins, with Inception, but I really hated the other two Batman movies, and I so this was his first, like, the one for them, the one for me. I guess because I don't think Warner Brothers were happy to. I mean, I know they were happy to work with Nolan, but they just made $1 billion with the. I mean, almost $3 billion with the Dark Knight trilogy, so they had to do one for him, and it shows. So this will be my deconstruction from part one, and that will cover the time from um, Cooper, who is the protagonist, uh, from the beginning of the movie through Cooper leaving Earth. Um, so it's the file for 45, whatever. Um, so at first, this movie is quite better than. I mean, first, let's talk about the music. And I've read that that's all on. I think it was Hans Zimmer in it, still in its prime, because I think Hans Zimmer has lost a bit of his gusto from the last years, from what I saw. Of course, he made Dune, but he just, I think he just works too much, and I don't think it's fault. I think he just. I mean, I don't think he's complaining or not getting enough money, but I think that he just says yes to so much things. He does so many movies a year. Uh, Dune was extraordinary, but apart from that, I mean, in the 15 years ago, we had the Dark Knight trilogy, The Last Samurai, Inception, Interstellar, um, and so the Sherlock Holmes films that I don't like, but the music is so fantastic. You know, each movie was a fucking punch to the face. Was great. It was great. And now we have a Dune sometimes, but for each Dune we have a Wonder Woman 84, and it's like just so much crap. And it's like, why do you associate yourself with these people? It's with these projects. I mean, you don't need the money, you don't need the fame. You can do whatever the fuck you want. So why? There's nothing special. There's nothing good about these projects. So why do it? But anyway, so I read that Hans Zimmer. I've heard the story before that um, Hans Zimmer had no script, no plot, really, and Nolan just called him and he said, "Can you pitch me something? Can you make something? Can you write something just for yeah, an example of where you would go for the soundtrack?" And what he did, I did. He succeeded apparently because he wrote something, he played it, and it was so much. I mean, you have to admit that this soundtrack is drastically different from everything he has ever done, and I think it's in his top three of all time. Oh yeah, and I forgot the Da Vinci Code trilogy that I love. I love these movies. The soundtrack is exquisite. But yeah, for Interstellar, I think first of all, the good thing is it's way better than I remember. I remember hating the first part. I remember hating the fact that I remember the star cast, the actors he always works with. You know, he always used Michael Caine. He always uses Anne Hathaway and Jessica Chastain is in everything, and Matthew McConaughey. It was at the rise of the reconnaissance, um, but no, it's. I think it's a little bit so. First, the setting, the post. It's not post-apocalyptic, but it's near. It's very near, and all the. I like that because normally, for a movie of this scope, who happens, we don't know. I like because normally Nolan is so heavy on exposition that it makes you throw up. So heavy. And with that kind of world, with that kind of future, that it could be 50 years in the future, it could be 100 years in the future, we don't really know. It looks about 50 years in the future to be like the drones are the same technology that we have today. The cars don't seem different. It's just the nature. What has changed the more is nature, and from the crops to the way they talk about there's no armies anymore, and it's like, what the fuck? There's no armies anymore? Like, that's why I'm saying like post-apocalyptic. Like, and they are talking about NASA use for bombing like countries and things like that. It's like, whoa, okay, so what happened? Like, it wasn't. I mean, it wasn't. It was. It's not clear cut, and I like this because it keeps on with the mystery instead of us having to swallow a lot and a lot of exposition. Uh, Second, I love the young actress Murph. I think she's really she she's like this in the movie. She's a ball of energy. She's a ball of emotion. She has a great on and off love hate relationship with her father. Um, Cooper, the father, Cooper Matthew McConaughey. He's really loving. But he's trapped in this life, And as he says to the school teachers, it's like, I don't pay my taxes, I don't, you know, and they say, and you understand that everything is scarce, everything is, so few people can go to universities, and they need farmers, 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 and all they do is corn, and all they eat is corn, and it's like in a vicious cycle. And the thing about the farmers and the crops, not explained either. So another thing, so much exposition, like internet, or in Inception. I love Inception, but a lot of exposition. But in Inception, you have to understand the rules of where you go because it's so much high fiction. So I understand that, and I have nothing against exposition, and of course, show don't tell. But Christopher Nolan is very specific. Like, he writes, you can see he has one giant idea, and he deconstructs and deconstructs and deconstructs and deconstructs to the T, to the last point. He goes smaller, 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 smaller. Okay, I have enough to do a movie. And I think he has great themes in his head. Um, and that's why his movies are very powerful for most people. He's not my favorite director by any chance, but I understand why he is successful, and why he is one of the last directors, just like Tarantino or Scorsese, that can write an original product that sells. Because a Nolan movie sells, a Tarantino movie sells, a Scorsese movie sells, because they're original filmmakers. They are very much in touch with their craft and with their ideas and with their substance, their projects. They're very very near to that. That's why there's so much detail and so much care to them. Even though, again, I'm not saying they're perfect. I'm not saying they only make good movies. Although in my mind, Tarantino has never made a bad movie. Scorsese, neither Scorsese. So I like them better than Nolan, but I'll stick with Nolan here. And for our generation, Nolan has a special place. I don't care if you're 15 or 30 or 40. Uh, you have you have been with Nolan for, if you're a film, um, if you're a movie lover, you have seen your share of Nolan stuff. So to go back to Interstellar, I like, yeah, I like the only good. I first I didn't like the first time I saw it. I didn't like how he arrived on the NORAD base, how he discovered it. And I said, wait, remember how he discovers it? It's really, it's really smart. No, there's a word better than smart. It's very, um, when you know at the end how he found what he found through the absolution and negation of time, it is absolutely breathtaking, I think. It is, and her daughter trying to solve it, and of course he as an engineer can solve it more easily. I just don't like that he can come in a red base, like the base, like, and he's living like not too far from it, and it's the base, and oh my god, by any chance they're preparing a mission and he's right at time that they need him right now. So it's like, well, why did you just give me a call and I would have come if you need me so badly. It's the only thing. It's the only flaw for the first part that I'm critiquing here. It's like, why? It's like, if you need me so bad, why wait for me to appear at your doorstep? Just give me a call. Just send a car to my house. Just do something. You're fucking NASA. You're building spacecraft in the middle of nowhere for the absolution of humanity. So I'm sure you have the resources to contact me one way or another. But anyway, from the most powerful thing to me from this movie is really the score. Yes, the ideas are good. Yes, the acting is okay. I again like uh, the best way to compare it is with Inception, because Inception was the same. The score was a major part of it. Take that score out, take the score off. It's like taking Star Wars score off. You cannot do it. It has to be there. It's the soul of the movie. So, but like Inception, you have very thin characters, and even thinner because in Inception you had the unrelentless, the relentless pursuit of the wife of DiCaprio, of Cobb, and you don't have, and of course Nolan switched it to be McConaughey through his daughter, that the emotional connection that is with, because he's very much closer to her than his son. So that's the comparison I'll make. And I was starting to like go there, like in in exposition coma, when he arrives at the NORAD, and they start telling him everything about, wormhole appeared near Saturn, and we send probes, and we send projects, and we send people, and okay, so now we're preparing the mission, and we have these eggs to repopulate in 30 years, and blah 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 blah. Michael Caine exposition, and then I had flashback of the Dark Knight trilogy, when Michael Caine is telling his fucking story, his stupid shit, and I was like, oh no, not again. But it's kept for the difficulty of the material. It's relatively short, so I'll forgive it for now. So yeah, and I just like I just I'll leave you with this because I think it's long enough. It's just the first part. Um, this, of course, a big proponent, a big atmospherical, a big visual cue is the sandstorms, or the dirt storms, or whatever you want to call them, and that the dirt storm hit a bunch of books in her daughter's room, and it created a binary code that they translated. It's like, yeah, you gotta smoke something or drink something to have an idea like that. It's really out there, but it's great. It's just great when you know where it comes from. It's a little bit forced. It's a little bit too much out there. But if you want, what if you're in the flow of the movie, and if in your head it's okay, well, it's really eerie. That's what I call the first parts, at least for the, and they're not in space yet, and I call it eerie because that's the best way to describe this movie. And like I said, because of the score. The performances are okay. They're okay. They're great. I mean, it's good actors, but the score gives the movie reaches to a whole another level. I mean, it's even when they're looking just at fields or dirt storms or in relatively calm scenes, you have this organ playing, and it's like, again, relentless, and it's like it's like a combustion of mystery and hope and faith and fate, and all embroiled in the run through space, and the drive of discovery. I think that's gonna be the title for this part one, the drive to discovery. So I'll leave you on that. Let me know. Again, I don't have any subscribers, but hey, if you want to know, to let me know what you think. What do you think about the movie? Do so, and I answer all my comments always. So that's it for part one. Um, yeah, if you've never seen this movie, at least buy the soundtrack. You won't be, it won't let you down. So take care, guys.